Hi everybody, in today's video we will be showing you a few different ways of how you can do sensory play at home. For the first water sensory play, as you can see here, we have a bucket of water and inside we have water marbles. This is a good way for children to practice touching the different materials, feeling different textures, and kind of get used to different sensories. As you can see previously, we've also labeled cups with numbers. Children at home can practice scooping the materials into the cups when they're to practice their counting. So as you can see in the previous slide, I've labeled the numbers. I've started off with 1 through 10, but if 1 to 10 is easy for your child, you can change it up by, making it intervals, so bigger intervals like 5, 10, 15. Another way you can also do it is having the children sort by colors. So just like changing up the labels and saying, oh, like we want to sort them by blue, yellow, green, whatever it is. That's another way to do it. In this photo here, we have some ideas of what you can add into the water bucket. We have a few different ones that I've added that are in this picture, but you can just add it just about any materials. That way children can have a variety. So here are the labeled cups that I've made earlier. You can just line them up and then have the children scoop the marbles into the cups depending on their number. This is a good way for them to, practice their counting and just practice using their numbers. If children are having difficulty scooping the materials in the bigger bucket, another way is transferring into a smaller bucket. I noticed for me, when I was trying to transfer the materials with the marbles, it got kind of slippery, so I was having difficulties. So when you scoop it into a smaller bowl, it makes it easier. If children are having difficulties, maybe transferring to smaller will help them. Can get kind of frustrating over time when you can't really grab the materials. Another way is you can also use your hands, so you can use a combination of your hands and a spoon to kind of scoop the materials and transferring it into the content. So I started off by using a spoon here, and then I used my hands to kind of count them. One way to make it more challenging for the children is to just kind of change up the labels and have them sort by colors. This is also another good way for children to practice learning the colors and sorting the materials by color. Next up, we have squeeze the sponge. So in this activity, you're going to have two containers, one filled with water and two sponges. So the objective of this activity is having children squeezing the sponge in the water bucket and then transferring it over to the empty container. This activity is perfect for the summer. You can even take it outside and having the buckets further apart. So children have to walk from one end to the other while trying to keep the water within the sponge. And then when they get to the end, squeezing it out. Another activity is just by adding a little dish soap into the bucket. The dish soap creates that foamy texture for children that they can feel. This is a good way to incorporate sensory into their play because the soap is creating that foamy texture. As you can see here, when you start mixing the soap and water, it gives you that foamy texture and that soapy texture. Children can play with this, by using the sponge and, squeezing it out and seeing how it works. Or in the photo I mentioned earlier, you can also add those different materials to see how when you add or use different materials, how it will change. Did you get a chance to try all three sensory plays? If you did, which one was your favorite?